The Han-Nanyue War was a military conflict between the Han Empire and Nanyue Kingdom. During the reign of Emperor Wu, the Han forces launched a punitive campaign towards Nanyue and conquered it in 111 BC as part of its expansion southward. Background: to the regions south of China and northern Vietnam, Zhao Tuo had established himself as the king of Nanyue. Although Zhao's ancestors originated from Zhengding, China, the Han frontier in the south was not threatened and there was no indication that Zhao Tuo would encroach on Han territory. Eventually, in 196 BC, Emperor Gouge sent Lu Jia on a diplomatic mission to Nanyue to recognize Zhao Tuo. Nevertheless, relations between Han and Nanyue were sometimes strained. Zhao Tuo resented Empress Lu's ban on exports of metal wares and female stock animals to Nanyue. He eventually proclaimed himself an emperor on his own right. More specifically, in 183 BC, he retorted by proclaiming himself the martial emperor of the south, which implied a status on equal footing with the emperor of China. 2 years later, Nanyue attacked the Changsha Kingdom, territory belonging to the Han Empire. In 180 BC, Lu Jia led a diplomatic mission to Nanyue. During negotiations, he succeeded in convincing Zhao Tuo to give up on his title as emperor and pay homage to Han as a nominal vassal. In 135 BC, King Zhaomo of Nanyue appealed to the Han court for help against attacking Minyu forces. The Han court responded swiftly and this led to Zhaomo's agreement for sending his son to serve palace duties in Chang'an. Even though Nanyue neglected on paying regular homage to the Han court, the court had their attention to other commitments and was not set on forcing the issue. At the Nanyue court in 113 BC, the Queen Dowager of Nanyue brought forth the suggestion to incorporate Nanyue as a kingdom under the reign of the Han Empire, thus formally integrating the kingdom with the same terms as the other kingdoms of the Han Empire. She was Chinese herself and was married to the king who once served at Chang'an during his princehood as mentioned earlier. However, many Nanyue ministers opposed the suggestion to incorporate Nanyue into the Han Empire. Lu Jia was the primary Nanyue official that opposed the idea and led the opposition against the Queen Dowager. In 112 BC, the opposition retaliated violently and executed the Queen Dowager, King Zhaoxing, and several Han emissaries. This provocation would trigger the mobilization of a large Han naval force into Nanyue. The forces comprised 6 armies, who traveled by sea, directly southward, or from Sichuan along the Xi River. In 111 BC, General Liu Bod and General Yang Pu advanced towards Pani. It resulted in the surrender of Nanyue to the Han Empire later in that year. Based on many temples of El Jia, his wives and soldiers scattering in Red River Delta of northern Vietnam, the war might last until 98 BC. After the fall of Pani, Te Vu Vuong revolted against the first Chinese domination from Western Han dynasty. He was killed by his assistant Hoang Thong. Aftermath. After the conquest of Nanyue in 111 BC, the Han Empire established 9 new commanderies to administer the former Nanyue territories. Han control proceeded to expand further southwestward by military means after the conquest. The conquest also made it possible to extend Han maritime trade further to countries in Southeast Asia and around the Indian Ocean. Bibliography. Low, Michael. The Former Han Dynasty. The Cambridge History of China, Volume 1. The Qin and Han Empires, 221 BC AD. 220. Cambridge. Cambridge University Press. ISBN 9780521243278. Low, Michael. The Structure and Practice of Government. The Cambridge History of China, Volume 1. The Qin and Han Empires, 221 BC AD. 220. Cambridge. Cambridge University Press. ISBN 9780521243278. Morton, Scott, Lewis, Charlton M. China, Its History and Culture. New York, McGraw-Hill. ISBN 0-07-141279-4. Yu, Ying-Shi, Han. Foreign Relations. The Cambridge History of China, Volume 1. The Qin and Han Empires, 221 BC AD, 220. Cambridge. Cambridge University Press. ISBN 9780521243278.